Introduction of spirituality. Spirituality is a broad and multifaceted concept that encompasses a variety of beliefs, practices, and experiences related to the transcendent or divine. Unlike organized religions that often have specific doctrines and rituals, spirituality is often more personal and can be expressed in diverse ways. Here's a brief introduction to spirituality. Spirituality is a deeply personal search for meaning, purpose, and connection with something greater than oneself. It involves exploring questions about existence, the nature of reality, and the ultimate purpose of life. The key elements of spirituality is transcendence. Spirituality often involves seeking a connection with a higher power, the divine, or a universal energy that transcends the material world. Inner exploration. Individuals on a spiritual journey often engage in self-reflection, meditation, or other practices to explore their inner selves and understand their place in the universe. Morality and ethics. Many spiritual traditions emphasize ethical principles and moral values as a means of living a more meaningful and purposeful life. Connectedness. Spirituality often emphasizes the interconnectedness of all living beings and the recognition of a shared essence that unites humanity. Mindfulness and presence. Practices such as mindfulness and being present in the moment are common in spiritual traditions, fostering a heightened awareness of one's thoughts, feelings, and surroundings. Love and compassion. Spiritual experiences often involve feelings of love, compassion, and empathy toward oneself and others, fostering a sense of unity and interconnectedness. Seeking the sacred. Spiritual individuals may seek the sacred in various aspects of life, including nature, art, relationships, and everyday experiences. Many people express their spirituality through organized religions, following specific doctrines, rituals, and sacred texts. Some individuals pursue spirituality outside of traditional religious frameworks, drawing on philosophy, psychology, or personal experiences. Spiritual experiences may include moments of profound insight, transcendence, or connection with a higher reality, often described as mystical or transformative. Spiritual practices can include prayer, meditation, yoga, chanting, or other rituals that promote a sense of connection and inner peace. Spirituality can contribute to emotional resilience, coping with stress, and finding a sense of purpose and meaning in life. Some studies suggest that spiritual practices may have positive effects on mental and physical health. Spiritual communities provide a sense of belonging, support, and shared values for individuals on a spiritual journey. Spirituality often involves continuous personal growth, self-discovery, and the pursuit of a deeper understanding of oneself and the world. It's important to note that spirituality is a highly individual and subjective concept, and people may define and experience it in various ways based on their beliefs, cultural background, and personal journey. The history of spirituality is vast and diverse, encompassing a wide range of beliefs, practices, and traditions across different cultures and time periods. Spirituality is a deeply personal and subjective experience that involves a sense of connection to something greater than oneself, often encompassing the search for meaning, purpose, and transcendence. Ancient civilizations. Indigenous cultures. Many indigenous cultures around the world have rich spiritual traditions that are deeply connected to nature, ancestors, and the spiritual realm. These traditions often involve rituals, ceremonies, and a profound respect for the natural world. Ancient Egypt. In ancient Egypt, spirituality was intertwined with daily life and centered around the worship of various deities. The Egyptians believed in an afterlife and practiced elaborate burial rituals to ensure a successful journey to the next realm. Ancient Mesopotamia. The Sumerians, Babylonians, and Assyrians in Mesopotamia had complex pantheons and religious practices, including the worship of gods like Marduk and the practice of divination. Classical antiquity. Ancient Greece and Rome. Classical civilizations like Greece and Rome had a polytheistic belief system with gods and goddesses who were believed to govern various aspects of life. Philosophers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle also explored questions related to the soul, ethics, and the nature of existence. Mystery religions. During this period, mystery religions, such as the Eleusinian mysteries in Greece, emerged. These were secretive religious initiations that promised initiates a deeper understanding of the divine and the afterlife. Eastern traditions. Hinduism. The history of spirituality in Hinduism is vast and diverse, with ancient scriptures like the Vedas and Upanishads exploring philosophical and spiritual concepts. Hinduism encompasses a wide array of beliefs and practices, including meditation, yoga, and devotion to deities. Buddhism. Founded by Siddhartha Gautama, Buddhism emerged in the 6th century BCE. It emphasizes the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path as a guide to alleviate suffering and achieve enlightenment. Taoism. Originating in ancient China, Taoism is centered around the concept of the Tao, an ultimate force that underlies and unites the universe. Taoist practices include meditation, Tai Chi, and the cultivation of virtue. Monotheistic religions. Judaism. The history of spirituality in Judaism is marked by the covenant between God and the people of Israel, as outlined in the Hebrew Bible, Old Testament. Jewish mysticism, known as Kabbalah, explores esoteric interpretations of Scripture. Christianity, based on the life and teachings of Jesus Christ, has a rich spiritual tradition that includes sacraments, prayer, and the pursuit of a personal relationship with God. Christian mystics, such as Saint John of the Cross and Saint Teresa of Avila, delved into contemplative practices. Islam. Founded by Prophet Muhammad, Islam emphasizes the oneness of God and submission to His will. Islamic spirituality involves prayer, fasting, charity, and the pilgrimage to Mecca, Hajj. Sufism is a mystical Islamic tradition that focuses on the inward search for God. Medieval and Renaissance periods. Medieval mysticism. The medieval period saw the rise of mysticism in various religious traditions. Figures like Meister Eckhart in Christian mysticism and Rumi in Islamic mysticism explored the direct experience of the divine. Renaissance. The Renaissance witnessed a revival of interest in classical philosophy, as well as the exploration of humanism and individual spirituality. Artists, thinkers, and writers of this period, such as Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo, reflected spiritual themes in their work. Modern era. Enlightenment and secularism. The Enlightenment brought a shift towards reason, science, and secularism, challenging traditional religious authority. However, spiritual exploration persisted, and new religious movements emerged. Transcendentalism. In 19th-century America, Transcendentalism emphasized the inherent goodness of people and nature, as well as the importance of individual intuition and spiritual experience. Figures like Ralph Waldo Emerson and Henry David Thoreau were central to this movement. New religious movements. The 20th century saw the emergence of various new religious movements, often incorporating elements of Eastern spirituality, mysticism, and alternative philosophies. Examples include the New Age movement and the spread of Eastern practices like yoga and meditation in the West. Contemporary spirituality. Eclectic spirituality. In the contemporary era, many individuals embrace eclectic spiritual beliefs, drawing from various traditions and practices. This eclecticism often includes elements of mindfulness, meditation, and a focus on personal growth and well-being. Interfaith dialogue. With increased global connectivity, there has been a growing emphasis on interfaith dialogue, fostering understanding and cooperation among people of different spiritual and religious traditions. It's important to note that the history of spirituality is dynamic and continually evolving, shaped by cultural, social, and individual factors. Different cultures and individuals approach spirituality in diverse ways, and the quest for meaning and connection remains a fundamental aspect of the human experience. Religion and spirituality are related concepts, but they have distinct differences in their meanings and implications. It's important to note that individuals may interpret these terms differently, and there can be overlap or variations in usage. Here are some general distinctions between religion and spirituality. Definition. Religion typically refers to organized, institutionalized systems of beliefs, practices, rituals, and moral values shared by a community. Religions often involve a set of doctrines, a code of ethics, and organized rituals or ceremonies. Spirituality generally refers to an individual's personal quest for understanding life's deeper meaning and connection to something greater than oneself. It is often more subjective and personal than religion and may not be tied to specific doctrines or organized structures. Institutionalization. Religion involves organized institutions with established hierarchies, leadership, and specific dogmas. It often includes a set of prescribed rituals and practices that followers are expected to adhere to. Spirituality can be more individualistic and less formalized. It may involve personal experiences, introspection, and a sense of connection with the divine or transcendent without being bound by organized structures. Dogma and doctrine. Religion typically involves a set of defined beliefs, doctrines, and dogmas that followers are expected to accept and adhere to. These beliefs often form the foundation of religious teachings. Spirituality tends to be more flexible and open-ended, allowing individuals to explore and interpret their beliefs based on personal experiences, intuition, and inner reflection. Community versus individual focus. Religion often emphasizes a sense of community, with shared beliefs, practices, and a sense of belonging. Religious communities often gather for worship, rituals, and communal activities. Spirituality may have a more individual focus, with an emphasis on personal growth, self-discovery, and a connection to the divine that is unique to each person. It can be pursued outside of formal religious settings. Authority. Religion typically has established religious authorities, such as clergy, religious leaders, or sacred texts, that guide and interpret the beliefs and practices of the community. Spirituality places a greater emphasis on personal experience, inner guidance, and direct connection with the divine. Individuals may seek guidance from within themselves, from nature, or from various spiritual teachings. It's important to recognize that these distinctions are broad generalizations, and there can be considerable overlap between religion and spirituality. Some individuals find spirituality within the context of a religious tradition, while others may identify as spiritual but not religious. Additionally, people's beliefs and practices can evolve over time, making these concepts dynamic and diverse.